For some people, having a stroke comes without warning, but for one Sparta resident, it was a rude awakening one morning in August. This is a story of one man's journey through a scary situation.
They repeatedly told me for how severe it was. I'm really lucky to be where I'm at.
It was at 6 a.m. in Sparta where Ron Sloan was getting up from bed on the morning of Monday, August 30th.
The way that he described some of the sensory symptoms were a little bit unique, but still what he experienced was sensory symptoms on one half of the body that were sudden onset, which was the main clue to the EMTs and the emergency room providers that this was a stroke.
There was very, very minimal feeling. It was just, you try to lift it and you can't. And you move it and it just falls. It just, there's nothing there.
Ron's wife immediately called 911. Then an ambulance ride to La Crosse.
They did some tests, determined there was a clot, gave me a clot buster drug, and then airlifted me to Mayo because it was severe enough they didn't know if the clot busting drug would actually get rid of it.
CAT scans verified the clot was dissolved, saving Ron from brain surgery. Later testing discovered the stroke was caused by clots forming in his lungs, and by Wednesday, Ron was sent home to recover with a prescription for blood thinner and rehabilitation.
I still have limited mobility and feeling in everything in my left side.
Despite those limitations, Ron is back to what he's loved doing since high school, playing and coaching fast-pitch softball.
When I moved here, there was a need for a pitching coach. Most of the pitching coaches in this area have still been teaching the stuff I learned 50 years ago.
Ron has made a name for himself teaching the open-style pitching technique, which for local high school girls is a safer and faster way to pitch.
It's always fun to come here. It's actually one of my favorite things to do. I look forward to it after school. He's really good with me and he's very patient.
We'll have as many as a dozen girls here and they'll be doing different stuff, and that way they can be in here pitching. And I've got actually 2 pitching areas here so that they can pitch and hit and get warmed up for the next girl to pitch. And yeah, it works out really well.
And it has worked out. Ron's recovery period fell during the off season, and now he's healthy enough to get back to training the high school hurlers.
I'm just happy he's okay, and he works really well with girls and just knows how to push them and how to keep them relaxed when they need it. And he comes to games to support them too.
Like his medical team at Mayo told him, Ron truly feels lucky to be where he's at.
I don't look at my deficits that I still have. I look at the ability that I have and where I could be way worse than what I'm at. So I'm thankful, thankful every day for how well I'm doing versus how well I could be doing with how bad the stroke was.
Now, Mayo doctors say Ron's wife calling 911 right away was key to his speedy recovery, and the sooner people can get treatment for a stroke, the better to minimize any potential damages resulting from a clot blockage.